Talk about love. Let's talk about first why we need love in our lives. What is it about it that had love make the cut on Maslow's hierarchy of needs? Right above on the pyramid, so I guess it's after food and shelter, we want to connect with people, right? So unlike when you have an addiction to drugs or alcohol and you have to go completely dry in order to start to resolve that addiction, it's really challenging when you can't let go of love completely, right? So let's find out first why love is important, what healthy love looks like. In a healthy relationship, when it's romantic specifically, you have somebody there that can challenge you to become a better person. And this is in a healthy way. They're able to help you see your greatest potential, and they help mirror who you are to some degree so that you're able to build your character a little bit more. It helps you reach your goals, and it motivates you and inspires you. And you can have these kind of relationships with friends and other family members also. But romantic love is the fun one, right? So when you want that or you're yearning for it, a love addict will get really carried away with fantasy and dreaming about it. So what can happen that can turn someone from knowing healthy love and have it be an unhealthy, addictive pattern? Well, first of all, like other addictions, there is the possibility of a genetic predisposition. Maybe it's been passed down over generations. Sometimes addictive family styles show up without any real obvious signs of addiction, such as drugs or alcohol or gambling. But other more subtle things can show up. And remember, with love addiction, like I talked about in my previous Signs of Love Addiction blog, love addiction manifests itself not only in romantic and sexual relationships, but how we are with our friendships, our children, celebrities we've never met even, we may fantasize about them. Also sponsors, gurus, religious figures. So you have to broaden your scope a little bit when you're thinking about love addiction, because it's not as simple sometimes as romantic or sexual love. So if you grow up in an addictive family style, whether you realize it or not, you are raised to not know how to really resolve conflict. So what happens is your relationships become unhealthy in other ways also. If you're not getting the proper nurturing from a primary caregiver, say for example, a father works all the time and he has difficulty with intimacy in a family unit because his family of origin had trouble expressing love and nurturing. So he doesn't really even know how, and he's working all day and he comes home and he doesn't really feel comfortable holding a baby or want to. But the baby, especially if it's a girl for example, if she's not getting that nurturing, then what happens is she starts to get confused about her boundaries and what they are. So the child ends up developing either shaky or distorted boundaries, or they're non-existent at all. So that's one of the things that can happen with a love addict. As they grow up, what they're doing consciously is they're looking for love and they're fantasizing about what that means because they've never really understood a family kind of a love. And they're unconsciously looking to resolve whatever they didn't get when they were younger. So they got carried away in fantasy when they were young. It was kind of a safe place to go, for example. And when they get caught up in that, that carries them through adulthood. It becomes almost a normal way to feel safe and comforted, is to go into that fantasy and dream that somebody's going to come along. So this is one of the main reasons they're going to go towards a love avoidant, because if a love avoidant or an abuser, if they can turn them around, right, then they'll be able to turn anyone around. And then they think unconsciously that that's going to resolve whatever they weren't getting when they were needing to be nurtured as a child. And these are going to be more extreme the more severe the neglect or even abuse may have been as children. So that is one of the major ways love addiction may show up for someone when they get older. And I will go into more details in my blog that I always list below the videos. So I appreciate you watching, and stay tuned for upcoming videos that go into love avoidance and describing them a little bit more and why they become avoidant and afraid of love, and the similarities and differences in love addiction and sex addiction. Thank you.